the Attorney General's office, and they can decide whether that conduct rises to the level of criminal charges. It's now mandated, although in the past month, 2 misdemeanors involving officers.
All right, happening right now at the Rhode Island State House, the Senate Judiciary Committee is starting to discuss the Rhode Island law enforcement officers' Bill of Rights. During the hearing, Senator Harold Metz is calling for a special legislative task force to review and provide recommendations on policies. The Bill of Rights was adopted in 1976 to protect officers accused of misconduct and prevents them from being immediately fired or put on leave without pay. There's continued unrest in Atlanta following the death of a black man shot in the back by a white police officer. The shooting was captured on video. Officers were responding to a call of a man asleep at the wheel in a Wendy's drive-thru. That driver, 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks, was given a field sobriety test, but when Officer Garrett Wolf tried to put him in handcuffs, Brooks grabbed a stun gun from one of the officers. That's when investigators say Officer Wolf fired 3 shots, killing Brooks.
I wish that they could have had sympathy or compassion. I just feel like they didn't have to be so aggressive.
Officer Wolf over the weekend. Brooks leaves behind his wife and 4 children. In Minneapolis, a park sign's been mysteriously renamed to honor George Floyd. Sometime Saturday night, someone put a sticker over the George Todd Park sign, changing the name to say George Floyd Park. The Minnesota Parks and Rec Board doesn't know who changed the name, but local officials say they have no plans to remove the decal. The park's nearly 3 miles away from the site where George Floyd died in police custody. Developing news first at 4. Members of the LGBT community now protected from job discrimination following a landmark decision by the Supreme Court. The ruling passing with a 6-3 vote this morning. It means gay, lesbian, or transgender individuals cannot be disciplined, fired, or refused a job based on their sexual orientation. The decision now protects 8.1 million LGBT workers nationwide. We're tracking developing news in Boston. 6 former eBay employees are accused in an aggressive cyber stalking campaign against a Natick, Mass couple. The victims work for an online newspaper that covers e-commerce companies, including eBay. Well, according to police, the newspaper published content that was critical of eBay. The 6 suspects sent several disturbing items to the couple, including a bloody pig mask and a funeral wreath.
Fly larvae and live spiders, a box of live cockroaches, a sympathy wreath on the occasion of the death of a loved one, a book of advice on how to survive the death of a spouse. To be clear, based on the complaint unsealed today, eBay executives were not merely unhappy with the victim's coverage, they were enraged. One of those executives texted that he wanted to, quote, crush this lady, unquote.
The former eBay employees are from California and New York City. Police say they drove to the victim's home several times, intending to break into their garage and install a GPS tracking device on their car. They face several charges. New at 4, U.S. regulators pulling the emergency authorization for hydroxychloroquin to treat COVID-19. The FDA says the drugs hydroxychloroquin and chloroquine are unlikely to be effective in treating the coronavirus, citing reports of heart complications. Health officials say the drug's unproven benefits